much. Moving on to drains. I've lumped three questions together here just to try and save time. The concern is that the drains we've got aren't sufficient, or they're blocked basically, or they're not fit for purpose, and apparently there's debris that hasn't been cleared. Jenny, can I just ask you to comment on this?
Yeah.
Or Colin?
As far as the drains are concerned, I would just make the point that even if we have the most perfect drains in the world, once the brook is full, there isn't anywhere for the water to go. So, yes, we've got drainage work that we know needs doing, but you must always bear in mind that once that brook's running at capacity, no matter how good the road drains are, nothing will happen. Councillor Prince has checked today. There is work to be done on the drains down the main street. I'm leaving the marsh out for now because we've got the marsh as a separate sort of section. It's scheduled, I think, is the best that you could get, isn't it, Barry? We can't get a date on that. But we had a big job done on the drains in Wellington after Storm Dennis. We had a lot of work done. They are Heritage Council, Bath Beach are going to come back and do some more. The next one, I don't know about this debris at the mouth of the causeway. Anybody got any ideas? Anybody here who might have raised that question?
Yeah, the question was debris has built up and water's now backing up and pooling, not flowing. More water's being pushed into this area further up in the village and down the village road. It has to go somewhere, and this is an entry point in the update. So perhaps, does Steve do this? Thank you.
Well, it's simply in the last two had debris.
Entirely sure where it's at. Referring to, but yeah, happy to follow up on that. And Mark Watkins, who covers this area, can attend.
Thank you very much. I'll just mention that as well, actually, because somebody has said that there's a conservation order on trees in the village, and if there's evidence that the tree roots are damaging the drains, then owners need to be able to take the trees down to protect the properties.
So yeah, I'm not sure what was shared with the community, because I know there was quite a lot of surveying and investigations, and then remedial works done. I think back in 22. I've got the details of what was done. I can share those maps. You got those? Yeah. So that details exactly what the findings were. There was quite a lot of works done. From talking to colleagues, I'm not aware of any enduring issues, but happy to be corrected. If people have got specific areas that they want to highlight, then let Jenny know, let me know. But yeah, happy to share and look at anything anyone's got.
Thank you very much. Apparently, the River Lug Internal Drainage Board has said the brook is designed to overflow to the road. But they say, I may have that wrong though. To be honest, I can't see the parish council fixing this, as it requires the IDB to widen the channel downwards again, which they will not do. Clearing culverts is supposed to help, but they don't seem to do that. We've also had a blocked drain in Brookside for some years reported and nothing done or followed up, which might be Barry might help. But Anne, do you want to say anything about that?
I'm guessing they're referring to where it's designed to breach and come down past the shop. There's a place there it's designed to come out. I think that's what they're referring to. Widening the channel is one of the things that was covered in the report here, and it's never been an option really, because that's not the problem. There's a lot of water and it's never going to take it, no matter how big you'll make it. So I can't really say much more than that. There are culverts obviously through the village that cause restrictions, but in terms of cost effectiveness of the impact they'll have, it doesn't really stack up. So.
Can I ask, talking about culverts there, the culvert there on the regards to Wellington Village Bridge, because it's built up, there's a big mound this side and that side of the A49. Whose responsibility is it to clear that? Because that's where obviously it goes right to the bottom of the village and it's backed up there. It's just, there's nothing to go.
Okay, so yeah, so you're talking about the main A49 trunk road, yeah. So that would be national highways, and I know that in relation to some of the issues in and around Wellington Marsh as well, I know that there has been requests made to national highways, for clearance works. My understanding is that they are scheduled, but I think it's a timing issue, and I'm awaiting confirmation from them as to when that work is scheduled. It's my understanding that they are due to undertake some clearance, so I'll keep chasing and liaising with, with National Highways colleagues. But yeah, it's National Highways if it's A49.
The highways near the brook there. The highway near the brook.
So
it's under the culvert. There's gravel. There must be 7 to 10 tons of gravel underneath the culvert going through under the A49.
There's a mound in the middle. I've got photographs here, obviously, then I'll show you later. And there's the other side of the road. And this side is creating like a weir, right this side as well.
It's almost pea gravel, some gravel off the, there's a culvert that goes off the road to the far side of 49, and there must be 7 tons of gravel there. Restricting the flow?
Restricting the flow, it's just narrow that one to go.
okay, we'll pick that up. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Next question. With the possibility of 15 new houses being built on the field opposite Causeway Close, isn't this going to add to the flood risk, as half of the field is going to be covered in brick and tarmac? The answer is yes. Colin?
Yes, that is the case. First of all, as a parish council, we are required to, over a period of years, build a certain number of houses. So that is one thing that we also have to consider. I think the question raised the fact that since the first application went in 2018, 1 or 2 of these initial flood prevention to aid water getting away are no longer on the current plan, because I think they've asked for an extra 3 houses. And by the way, it is my family, and I have no interest in it whatsoever. Quite the opposite, because often there'll be more houses opposite my house. So, as a parish council, we can make observations to the planning committee and say, well, yes, have you done this or have you done that? Have you considered, as has been raised? In my time in Wellington, we've had numerous areas built over which at one stage flooded and now have got houses on. So that is an issue that we are constantly up against. As a parish council, we have put in our reservations to the planning committee, and that's, as far as the parish council, that's all that we can do. So sort of answering that, yes, there will be, as we say, more hard areas, and we have raised the fact that they probably could be a little bit more clear on how they are going to actually remove that extra surface water. So that's as far as the parish is concerned, that's all we can do. So put in our observations and recommend that it be changed.
Thank you. And another impact on developments, for example, we've got a planning application. Well, there's a planning application at the moment for the graveyard to be extended, and that's not progressing because of the embargo on development and needing to sort out the phosphates in watercourses issue. So it'd be useful to know what the situation is with that. Steve, perhaps you can speak to that, because that's preventing our graveyard being extended.
Yes, so I can provide some information from planning colleagues in terms of the situation there. The council is the competent authority under the habitats regulations. We need to look at the potential impacts of projects and plans on important sites which involve the River Wye special area of conservation, where there's a likely significant effect. The council must carry out an appropriate assessment in order to determine that there would be no adverse effect on integrity. If it can't be proven that there wouldn't be an adverse effect, then planning permission cannot be granted without further consideration under the habitat regs. Like I say, planning colleagues there's a couple of links and information just in terms of the phosphates in watercourses. There's information on our web pages that gives a bit more detail, and I can circulate that, and that can be shared.
Thank you. There might be more questions on that, but let's reserve that for later.